Retrobit Panda here again with another pickups video. Have a lot of stuff to show you guys today, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. As you can see in that first video, I ran into a box full of Famicom games. I think the guy wanted like $7, I think, per game, and he's really strict on his prices. He will not give you a deal if you bundle up. So I figured I'd only pick up one. They're really not that. I don't know a lot about Famicom games. So the game I did pick up was Mario Bros. I really like this color they used for the cart, like the orange they used. It looks really nice in my opinion. So that makes it 2 Famicom games in my collection, sorry. And then I picked up the following 4 NES games at a local Goodwill. The first game is Batman. And we have A Boy and His Blob, Adventure Island, and finally Kickle Cubicle. So these games I picked up after the flea market's adventure we had where I picked this up. That day the flea market was really dead, so luckily Goodwill saved us and made it not so much of a crappy kind of game hunting day. Next I made a trade with a Instagram user. He posted up these 5 NES games for trade. I sent him a couple pictures of stuff that I had. We were to make a deal, and the 5 NES games are Deadly Towers, Dragon Power, Dragon Warrior, Iron Tank, and Wrath of the Black Manta. So I was stoked to pick up these 5 games from him. It was a sweet trade on both ends. I also entered a giveaway from that same user and ended up winning. And the little prize I got was a Toon Link figure, the Roller Nintendo series. These are the small ones. I've been looking for this one, and everywhere I go and look for them, they're always sold out. So I was stoked to get that. And a week later, I went to the flea market again with my girlfriend and found a lot of stuff on that Sunday. I took a handful of PS2 games I didn't want anymore to a buddy of mine that's a reseller, and he gave me pretty decent trade credit, and I ended up picking up these 6 NES games. So that brought me up to, I believe, 111. Yeah, 111 NES games at that moment. I'm just gonna run through these games real fast. Save the best one for last in my opinion. Kung Fu Heroes, Super Team Games, Solar Jetman, Image Fight, Operation Wolf, and with its manual, a really nice label condition copy of X-Men. And that came with its manual and a generic sleeve. So stoked to get that off of him. And then he also had a little display case that had some of his higher end games. And I found a Super Nintendo game that I really wanted, and it got me a sweet deal on it. And that game is Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest. So I forget how much I paid for it exactly, but it was a pretty sweet deal on it. Couldn't pass it up. So I picked those games up from him, and then we started walking down the same row that he was at, where his stand was at. And I think I included this clip in the video, but I found these following 4 games. There's 3 PS3 games and 1 Wii game for 25 cents a piece. First up is Grand Theft Auto, and that doesn't have its manual. And really the only reason why I picked this one up was because it completed the $1. The other 3 games that I wanted for 75 cents. For some reason I didn't want to have a quarter in my pocket, so I figured I'd pick up one more game. Up next is Worms 3D, and that came with its manual. And then the 2 games that I really wanted, first being Harvest Moon, Save the Homeland. That one has a really nice condition manual. and it's a blue disc. And then the next game is a Wii game, and it's Rune Factory Frontier. And that one's complete. The manual's in pretty good shape as well. The disc is pretty well. I mean, pretty decent condition. So I picked those up for $1. Really couldn't complain. Really wasn't gonna, not pick them up, you know. So let me move these around so I can make some more space. So I picked those up for $1. Sorry guys. As we were leaving that stand, we were just about ready to wrap it up for the day, and we run into a seller that I've never seen before there, but I guess she's there all the time, which is really odd because I'm there almost every Sunday. And she had a tub full of NES games, and these 2 games she wanted 5 apiece for. I ended up getting both of them for 8, so that was a pretty good deal, especially for one of them. The first game is Slalom, or Slalom, however you pronounce it, I'm not sure. It's a black box game. And then a copy of Wrecking Crew, which is a game I've been looking for quite a while, so I was stoked to finally pick that up. $8 wasn't a bad deal. And there's this guy, this local collector, he was talking to the lady, and he brought in a box full of stuff that he wanted to trade. The lady didn't want this particular item, so I asked the guy if he would sell it to me. I got it for $20. I think it was a pretty good deal. Doesn't have its manual or its I guess map, but it has a pretty nice condition box, and the game is Final Fantasy, the first one on the NES. Pull out the game here. It has a really nice label. So here's the game. Really nice label. Has a little sleeve in there. The box is in really nice shape too. Let's try to flip it around. It's the Canadian version, so there's it's in French right here, so it gives an English and a French description of the game. And this makes, I think, my 4th NES game in the box, albeit without its manual. So I picked that up off of him. I made sure that I wasn't undercutting the lady. I didn't know she wanted it, so I asked her twice if she was gonna pick it up, and she said no. So that's when I went in for the swoop. So I picked those up, and then I don't think we went to the flea market the next week. I'm not sure, but this past week on Friday afternoon, I went to the local Goodwill, and I picked up a copy of Epic Mickey 2: The Power of 2, and that came with its manual. The disc is in alright shape. I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. But I've been wanting to play these games, so I was pretty stoked to pick that up. And the CD section, I found this soundtrack, and I mean, I was looking for the game to see if someone, donated the game as well, but I couldn't find anything. Nonetheless, the soundtrack was for Final Fantasy VII. I think it's the Japanese import. I'm not sure because everything's in Japanese. But it comes with all 4 discs. There's disc 1, disc 2 is behind these 2 pieces of paper. And then we have disc 3 and disc 4. I paid $3 for it, which I don't think was a bad deal at all. It only came with 2 pages. I'm not sure if it was like a full manual, but I figured I'd keep it, and it'll be cool when I get another copy of Final Fantasy VII to have that along with it. So that started off the weekend. I figured I'd go to the flea market the next day, so I ended up going, and I picked up the following 2 GameCube games. These are the only games I found at the flea market. It was pretty dead that day. The first being SSX on Tour, and the main reason I picked this up because it was featuring Princess Peach, Mario, and Luigi, and that came with its manual, complete, and a copy of Battalion Wars, which I've heard is a pretty fun game. It came with its manual as well, or its field manual. The lady wanted $3 a piece for them, so I got them for 2 for 5s, the old 2 for 5 trick. So I was happy to get those. I'm gonna move some stuff out of the way so it won't be so cluttered in here, on here. So as I was leaving the flea market, I decided to look up any like local garage sales in that area, and I was able to find just one, and I went to it. I asked the lady if they had any video games. She said no, but as I made my way to one of the cabinets that they were selling, they had like a stack of PS2 games and one GameCube game, and the game was Crazy Taxi. And I wasn't gonna pick this up, but I figured I'd look inside of it, make sure it's the right game. And when I opened it up, I was kind of surprised to see a copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee in there. I was pretty surprised. I was like, wow, and the disc was in pretty good shape. I swapped it out with my copy, so this is my original copy of Smash Bros. Melee, because the better conditioned disc is now in my copy. And I asked the lady how much she wanted. I think she wanted like 5, and I brought it down to 3, and she was okay with that. So I ended up paying $3 for that. Not a bad score at all. Also found something really cool for my girlfriend in the yard sale over, so I was pretty happy to have stopped there. And as I made my way back to town, I ran into this flea market kind of garage sale thing where this lady that sells at the flea market, she pulls out all her games and kind of sells games along with like clothes and other stuff. So it's kind of like a flea market at her house. So I looked at some of the games, and I was kind of surprised to find this in the $5 bin. It doesn't have its manual, but it's a copy of Digimon Rumble Arena 2. I know that this game complete can go for like $30 or so. So I mean, for $5, I really couldn't leave it there. So I guess you could say I caught her slipping. What do you guys think? Let me know. And now I guess like the perfect way to end the game hunting weekend. I had this pretty stellar Wii pickup. Well, the story goes, I was looking on Craigslist. Sorry. And the NES games follow all over the place. I was looking on Craigslist, and there was this kind of like this high school sale going on. So I thought it was going to be at a high school, and they were going to sell Nintendo games. They didn't specify it was going to be Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii, Game Boy. They didn't really specify. So I figured I'd make my way out there. It's probably like 20 minutes away from where I live, and my girlfriend was willing to go with me, so we went. I got there around 20 minutes early. I asked that because they didn't have anything out, and it was at a house. It wasn't even at a school. And I asked the guy if that was the place where they were gonna have the sale, and he said, yeah, but we're not starting for another 20 minutes. I said, all right, I respect that. So we just waited in the car, and about like 10 minutes before the sale was about to start, we started waiting out in front. I mean, we were across the street. We weren't waiting like right in front of their house. We were waiting across the street, and the guy said, you know what, you guys have been pretty cool. Just come on in, and we'll let you guys get a sneak peek. So the first 2 games that we see are 2 games for the PS2. The first game was a game my girlfriend really wanted. She loves this game, and it's Pac-Man World 2, and that's complete with its manual. And then a game that's, I guess, kind of uncommon, not like terribly uncommon, but pretty cool game. It's Snoopy versus the Red Baron. I've seen gameplay footage of this, and it looks really, really fun. So I'm pretty stoked to play this. And it has a really nice condition manual. So I was stoked to find that. So immediately we started making a pile. We put these in there, and then we started looking at the Wii games. Like they had games kind of like spread out across the table, and on the right side were kind of like the shittier games, on the left side were the better quality games, I guess you could say. So I guess I'm just gonna grab a handful here. I just started putting them in a pile. The first game is Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition, and all games came with their manual. So I got that one, and then Crash Mind Over Mutant. My girlfriend loves the Crash series, so we picked this one up. And then we have, well, this guy didn't have it out at the yard sale, but he went back in to get something else, and he ended up finding this one, so he brought it out as well. And it's a copy of Mario Kart Wii. And then we have a copy of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That's complete. That was my phone, guys, sorry. And then we're getting to the better games. Sorry. The first game is Pikmin 2. I was kind of surprised to see that this game is going for like a decent amount. It's going for like 30 plus on eBay. And I was stoked to find it's my first Pikmin game actually. I haven't stumbled on any Pikmin games in the wild, so I was pretty excited for that. Up next is Super Mario Galaxy. And then I was super stoked to see this game. It was the first game I grabbed from the Wii section. It's a Super Mario Galaxy 2, but when I opened it, there wasn't a game in there. It was empty, so I asked the guy, is it still in the system, or is it somewhere else in a different game case or something like that? So the guy went inside to go check out or try to find it, and he couldn't find it. Came back outside with another game and said, "Here, I have this game if you want to buy this one. I'm really not into it anymore." So I asked him how much would he want for that one, and he said the same price as the rest of them. So for the Wii games, he wanted 5 apiece, and for the PS2 games, I think he wanted like 2 or 3 apiece. So he wanted 5 apiece, $5 for this game, and I was pretty surprised to see it. I mean, it's been going up in price because it's out of print, I guess, and it's a copy of Pikmin 3. And it's in, I don't want to break it, really nice shape. I don't know if it's going to pick it up, but I asked the guy if he was sure he wanted to sell it, and he said, yeah, he didn't want it anymore, so took his offer on it. So I picked up, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 35. I think it was like 40 right there, or I think it's a 2 for 5, so I was like 40. And then my girlfriend wanted this stepping stone kit maker. So we just bundled everything together, and I think it shot out like 30 bucks for everything. So we were happy to take that. What's funny is that as I had like this whole stack in my hands, somebody showed up and they were looking at the Wii games. Like they just right away just started like rummaging through the rest of the Wii games, and it was just like the crappy games like Just Dance or like Cabela's Hunting or whatever. And he was looking at me like, damn, like I got here too late. And I was like, that's just the way it goes, like you got to be there early, or not, I mean, be there early, but just be there at the right time. And it was so funny because his wife was like trying to make it seem like they got like good games, because like, oh, look at this game, it goes for a bunch of money. It was just really funny, the kind of jokesters that they were. So yeah, I was super stoked to get that. It ended a great week of game hunting, and with that, I think I should wrap it up. That's about it, guys. What have you guys found lately? If you guys found anything rare or uncommon, please let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you could like this video, that'd be awesome. If you're new to the channel, if you could please like and subscribe, that'd be awesome as well. Yeah, guys, and until next time, take care.